Bay. The saga of the great Hudson's Bay Fur Company. And of the brave men who traveled the untrekked wilderness from Labrador to California, from Minnesota to Alaska. Starring Barry Nelson as Jonathan Banner, Hudson's Bay Man. With George Tobias as Pierre Falcone.
Pierre Falcone was visiting some of his many relatives, so the company assigned Baptiste Legrand as my guide. Our destination? The Columbia River Country, 1820. As per instructions from Governor Hogan, I was en route to arrange the purchase for the Hudson's Bay Company of Columbia Post, independent trading factory.
Hello, the fort! Hello! Welcome to Columbine House. Come in, gentlemen. Madam, may I present Mr. Jonathan Banner of the Hudson's Bay Company and his friend.
Welcome to Columbine House.
Aren't you going to introduce me, Mother dear? I think sometimes my mother forgets her son. Or perhaps she prefers to forget him.
John.
Sir?
I'll have none of your nonsense while there are guests in my house.
Your house, sir? Your house? You're Jonathan Banner. I've heard about you. You've come to buy Columbine House.
That's right.
You can't do that, you know. They have no right to sell my father's property.
Stop it.
Am I distressing you, Mother dear? My mother is easily given to distress, Mr. Banner. She was distressed when my father was killed, but within 6 months she married him. I was only going to say she married my father's partner. Good night, Mr. Banner. It's a pity you traveled so far for nothing. You will never buy Columbine House. Never.
I should have warned you, Mr. Banner. This is a strange household.
Yes, I gathered that.
May I show you to your quarters? I think you will find it comfortable here. We will discuss business in the morning. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night. Oh, thank you.
Good night.
This is one place I do not like. It smells of death and evil spirits.
You got the wildest nose on any man I ever saw.
I think This place is bad for our health.
Yeah, I guess something's wrong, Arthur. What's between Sir St. Croix and his foster son?
I beg of you, monsieur, don't ever inquire.
Does young John Hunt strike you as being insane?
As a loon.
I don't think so.
He acts pretty crazy.
He acts pretty crazy. But why?
We could become a little bit dead trying to find out.
Yeah, stop talking like that. Go to sleep. You'll be all right in the morning.
We'll not be able to sleep all night.
He'll die first.
Don't be a fool, John. You can't get away with it.
Get away with it. You make it sound like a crime.
It's murder.
Vengeance, Julie. Vengeance. Bones in this very earth cry for it. It is no crime.
Shh, John.
Good morning. I trust you slept well.
I couldn't close my eyes all night.
Were you disturbed by anything?
No, I just couldn't sleep. The bed was too soft.
Don't believe him, Mrs. St. Croix. Why, he was sound asleep when I left our room last night.
Why did you leave your room?
Why, a young servant girl going out into the forest after midnight made me curious.
Julie?
How'd you know it was Julie?
Where did you go?
To the post cemetery to meet your son.
Young people. I must speak to Julie.
If it's romance you're suggesting, Mrs. St. Croix, I'd like to say that young lovers rarely speak of murder and revenge.
Whatever there is between John and that girl, sir, is none of your business.
Sorry.
It is my business. And there's a question of ownership of Columbine House, Mr. St. Croix.
There is no question, sir. The property is in my name.
Your foster son seems to think otherwise.
John is my ward. He will have his share of the proceeds when he comes of age.
He doesn't want you to sell.
His desires are of no importance.
They're strong enough that he's threatened to kill you first.
The threats of a hot-headed boy.
I think he could carry out those threats. Oh, come on, let's stop fencing, St. Croix. Why does your son hate you?
He resents my having married his mother.
That's all?
Certainly.
That's not all, Mr. Banner. This is the time for truth, Siren, and I think Mr. Banner should hear it. My husband did not die a natural death, Mr. Banner. My son blames Siren.
How did your husband die?
It was an accident. Do you think that my wife and I murdered William? Murder will out, sir. From the voices of servants, of traders, of trappers who come to this post, 100 voices would shout the description of crime. No such shout has risen. No such shout ever will, because William was not murdered. That is the simple fact. His death was an accident.
What kind of an accident?
A tree fell on him. Madam, may I show you to your rooms? After breakfast, if you wish, sir, you may examine the books.
Thanks.
Everything is so clear, like a pool of mud, no?
Like a pool of mud, yes.
St. Croix was right. 100 voices would have cried murder if William Hunt had been murdered. I spent the day talking to a lot of people around the fort. They all said that William Hunt was a fine man. All claimed to have owed him for favors, great and small. I got the picture of a great gentleman, kind and tender master, good husband and devoted father to his son John. There was just one thing they couldn't agree on.
There is no sense going farther with this. Everyone says it was an accident.
One said that he was killed in a rock slide. Another said he was drowned. I talked to a trapper who said that he was shot while cleaning his gun. St. Croix says a tree fell on him. Young John Hunt hints of murder.
Et alors? Who is right?
We're going to find out tonight.
We?
We. You and me. How are you coming?
All right. But I feel like little ghosts are dancing on my back.
Yeah, I wish there was another way of going about this.
Oh, there must be an easier way to buy a post.
You're lost down there, huh? You almost finished?
Soon. Soon. Sacre bleu. I don't think this dead man will like this very much. No, no. There's a hole in the back of the head. A musket ball.
Yeah, it's about 75 caliber. He was shot from behind. It was murder.
Turn around. And do it slow and easy. It's a dark night for hunting, Mr. Banner. Why else would you be examining my guns?
I was looking for one kind of gun. A 75 caliber musket.
And for that, you break open my gun cabinet like a common thief?
It seemed important enough to try for it.
And did you find it?
No.
And why is such a musket important to you?
Maybe you know better than I.
I see. You are prying into family secrets, Mr. Banner. Secrets which do not concern you.
Murder concerns every man.
You accusing me of murder?
I'm only saying that murder's been done here.
I have changed my mind about selling Columbine House to you, Mr. Banner. You and your friend will leave here in the morning. Now you had better go to bed.
He knows.
I'm afraid so.
Is that a nice way to come calling? That's a nice calling card, too.
Let me go.
Sure. After you tell us why you tried to kill us.
I have nothing to say. You cannot force me, Mr. Banner. You're not the kind of man to use force. Not on a woman.
Who sent you here? You know, all this reminds me of a book I read once. In this book, a young fella, he goes crazy thinking that his uncle murdered his father in order to marry his widow.
What kind of a book was it?
It's called Hamlet. In the end, everybody killed everybody else. Unless somebody tells us the truth about how William Hunt was killed, same thing's gonna happen right here.
There is an Indian village not far from here. Flatheads. Go there, ask for Sequoia. Tell him I sent you. Tell him I said it is time to tell the truth. Go quickly, Mr. Banner.
At first, he didn't want to talk, but he broke down after a while. And he said he'd return to Columbine House with us, and we'd talk on the way.
Jenkins? Jenkins, where are you?
Where the devil is Jenkins?
He went with the Engages to meet an Indian trading party.
What trading party? No trading party is expected.
I know. We are all alone, foster father.
What are you trying to do?
Let's go into the house, foster father. Let's find my mother. Sit down. I'll kill him if either of you move.
You don't know what you're doing.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to kill my father's murderer. I was going to wait. But you forced my hand, St. Croix. When you decided to sell Columbine House, I knew I had to kill you now, before you got away from me.
I had no intention of running away from you, John.
Liar. You knew I was getting closer to proof that you killed my father.
I didn't kill your father. Put that pistol down, boy, and let's talk sense.
Get back. Back, I tell you.
Siren, no.
Don't stop me, Helen. It's time to trim this cockroach comb.
Get away from him, Mother.
No. It's time you learned the truth. Your father was not a good man. He was evil, foul. He deserved to die. But neither Siren nor I had anything to do with his death.
You're lying. My father was a good man. Everyone says he was good. You killed him to get each other and everything my father owned. I'll kill both of you.
You're always talking about the man who killed your father. Well, this is the man who killed him.
Why?
Because,
What have you got to do with this? I thought you were helping me. Julie, I thought you were on my side. I thought that you were my friend.
I tried to keep you from being foolish.
What has she got to do with my father?
She your half-sister, my granddaughter. Your father married my daughter. Treat her bad. Curse. Kick. She die. He marry white woman. I kill him. With this.
Why didn't you tell me?
It was my fault. I felt a boy should grow up feeling proud of his father. When Siren asked me to marry him, I made it a condition that you would never know the kind of man William Hunt really was.
You let me hate you all these years. You must have known I'd try to kill you sometime, and yet... I don't understand.
Who is asking you to understand anything? Mr. Banner, if you agree, we will close the sale of Columbine House on the terms we agreed.
All right, I'd go up and talk to him.
It's all yours, Banner. At least it's Hudson Bay Company property now. I've known much happiness here and much sorrow. I'd be glad to leave.
They're a nice family now, eh?
Yeah, nice family, all right.
Someday, you get a nice family too, no?
Yeah. Yeah, someday.